A 41-year-old woman is behind bars for fatally shooting a 32-year-old man. At 6 p.m. on Sunday the 14th of January, authorities responded to the 300 block of Dugan Street in Blytheville, Arkansas on reports of a man shot. When officers arrived, they found a man in a critical condition suffering from a gunshot wound. Medics transported him to the Great River Medical Center, where he later died. The victim was identified as 32-year-old Joe Newmy. During the investigation, detectives identified 41-year-old Tiffany Harris as a suspect. She was arrested and charged with first-degree murder and possession of a firearm by certain persons. At 10:41 p.m. that night, Tiffany was booked into the Mississippi County Detention Center, where she remains held without bond. The motive of the killing is unclear, as the investigation into the matter continues. An inmate who escaped from jail in Memphis, Tennessee during inclement weather spent less than an hour in the snow before turning himself back into custody. At around 10 p.m. on Sunday the 14th of January, Memphis police said they were told that 20-year-old DeMarcus Davis escaped custody from another agency. By 10:35 p.m., DeMarcus asked a civilian to call police so that he could turn himself in. Memphis police said he was found in the 100 block of Madison Avenue and then transported to jail. Shelby County Sheriff's Office records indicate that DeMarcus is charged with 1 count of escape and 2 counts of rape of a child. 37-year-old Donald Patrick is behind bars for fatally shooting the mother of his child, 34-year-old Shatirika Bell. At around 9:50 p.m. on Friday the 5th of January, authorities received a 911 call from a person who said a child came to their home, stating that the mother had been shot inside their apartment, located at 2669 Kirby Road in Robinsonville, Mississippi. When deputies arrived at the scene, they heard additional shots fired inside the apartment and located 2 additional children outside. Deputies quickly learned that Shatirika and Donald, as well as a newborn baby, were inside the apartment. They secured the scene and evacuated the surrounding residences. Deputies spoke to Donald via phone and were able to get him to put down his weapon and come out of the apartment. He was detained at around 10:35 p.m. Donald told deputies at the scene that he shot his child's mother and that there was a newborn in the apartment. The baby was found unharmed. Deputies found Shatirika inside the apartment with a gunshot wound. She succumbed to her injuries and was pronounced dead at the scene by the Tunica County coroner. Donald was charged with murder, aggravated domestic violence, 2 counts of felon in possession of a weapon, and possession of a stolen firearm. He's been held at the Tunica County Detention Center on a $325,000 bond. The motive of the killing is unclear, as the investigation into the matter continues. 39-year-old Kelvin Forsell is behind bars for fatally shooting his infant daughter and the child's mother. At around 5:30 p.m. on Sunday the 14th of January, authorities responded to a residence in the Oak Village Mobile Home Park near Highway 30 in Gonzales, Louisiana, on reports of shots fired. When deputies arrived, they entered the mobile home and found a woman and a 1-year-old girl deceased with gunshot wounds. The victims were identified as 41-year-old Christina Linatus and 1-year-old Kaylee Forsell. Ascension Parish Sheriff Bobby Weber said that the mother and the child were shot in the head at close range, and that investigators believe the shooting was a domestic violence incident. Some neighbours reported hearing gunshots, but didn't realise they were tied to the fatal shooting nearby until deputies arrived. During the investigation, authorities identified Kelvin as a suspect. Investigators said that Kelvin fled the scene of the slaying, ditched his car at a nearby store on Airline Highway, and then ran into a neighbourhood. A resident spotted Kelvin trying to steal a car, and with the help of the neighbour, wrestled him to the ground until deputies arrived. Kelvin was arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, unauthorised entry, simple burglary, felony theft of a motor vehicle, and illegal use of weapons. He's held at the Ascension Parish Jail without bond. Kelvin is a convicted felon with prior history of firearm, drug and criminal damage charges, and allegations of firing a gun into property. He was on probation for some of those past convictions and had a bench warrant issued for his arrest for missing a mandated court date in Ascension Parish 5 days prior to the killings. The investigation into the matter continues.